From Consumers Union, the top consumer advocate, a powerful defense of Measure 92. Pesticide companies are putting profit over your right to know, spending millions on attacks that are false, misinformation, flat wrong. The truth? 92 will not increase food prices. Proof? Costs have not gone up in the 64 countries that require labeling.
Don't be fooled by the attacks. Measure 92 is a well-written plan giving you the right to know what's in your food. Vote yes on Measure 92.
Hi, welcome back to Green Machine TV. Thank you for tuning in, and we're going to continue our panel discussion with our lovely members here. So we were talking about how genetically engineered products should be labeled, but we've also branched on to kind of the other aspects of the problem. So,
folks, when you hear pushback from the other side, from the opponents, ask yourself, does this really make sense? There's already 64 nations that are receiving our foods from the United States with a label on it. It's already segregated. It's already being sent to two places. One place is sent to Americans without the label, and the other is it's sent abroad with the label.
but also the products that some of the companies make exclude GMO product ingredients if that country bans them. So they're already making two different versions of the product, not just the box.
Yes.
So a lot of people, they just don't care what they eat. So why should they still care about labeling?
Well, I'll answer that as a consumer. I'm a mom, a grandma, a 10-year survivor of cancer, where there had been no history of cancer in my family. And when I was diagnosed and saying, I have no idea how I got this, all my doctors and my dietitian told me 10 years ago, as much as you can afford, eat organic. All we know is that it could be environmental factors, and your diet is the largest environmental factor because you are consuming it into your body. And so the scientists can fight about whatever the health benefits or consequences are about genetically engineered food. But in the meantime, I want the information so I can make a healthy choice for myself and my family. And because I know that corporations' number one concern is the bottom line. They always choose to protect their profits over the public. We know that from the history of corporations lying to us, telling us things are safe in the past, like DDT, like lead in paint and fuel, like Agent Orange, and look at what happened to our Vietnam vets when they came back, and the tobacco industry telling us that there was no problem with smoking, and then we find out after whistleblowers leak the access they had to research all along that the tobacco industry knew that there was a link, and it wasn't for their courage to leak that information, the public never would have known about that. So for me, as an individual consumer, I want the information because I choose to make my food choices based on the side of caution. Let them fight about the science, but I want to be cautious. And I know that for a lot of people in the world, the cost of food is one of the biggest parts of their budget. And it is important for them to have reasonably priced food. But it's also, once people have information, then we're going to see, healthy foods are going to be what's demanded by consumers. And that changes, that's the tipping point. That changes everything. That changes the cost of the food. The healthy food becomes what's most desirable and the least expensive. That's why I think it's important for consumers to educate themselves, and in Oregon to vote yes on Measure 92. So we all have that information and can all make that choice.
Excellent. I think you wanted to add to that too, as to why people should care.
Why people should care? Well, if you care about other people, you might want to allow them the right to conduct their food life as they please. It's a simple thing, and it would help a lot of people. So that's one way you should care. Another way you might want to care is if you care about our economic principles, the founding premise of this country, freedom and liberty, capitalism. It's all premised on the idea of an informed electorate or an informed public or an informed market. In this case, we don't have proper information for the market, and so people make choices they would not otherwise make. There's a distortion in the system because of that. Regardless of what the consequences are, the fact that people don't have good information is simply not good capitalism, if that's the point of view that you take. So even from a non-health, just principle point of view, this ought to be law.
If you have the right to bear arms and the right to religion and the right to free speech, you should have the right to know.
Oh, right on. Well said.
Cool. So what can people do besides vote for Measure 92?
You can go to OregonRightToKnow.org, and there's a great big volunteer button. You just click it and put your information in, and some local volunteers that are coordinating will call you, and you can phone bank, you can go out and knock on doors and talk to your neighbors. I mean, really, when you look at what happened here in Jackson County, where we were fighting the big corporations, that's what won. It was our neighbor to neighbor, face to face conversations about what the issues are.
I would just like to add, in my opinion, our freedom of choice in our capitalistic society and supply and demand based upon what consumers tell us, it's all broken with regards to our food source. All we want to do is fix it. And you know, there's a lot of things going on in the world right now, but Oregonians specifically can fix one important thing, and that is to vote yes on Measure 92, which will provide us with a way to repair the consumer supply-demand part of our capitalistic society. We have this little right to know like everyone else does. Why not us?
Excellent. Well, thank you all for coming. Really appreciate your help and all your hard work through this whole campaign. I know it's been years of work, and it's not over by any means. I know it's
Right.
the battle's just started. So thank you all very, very much.
Thank you for
You're
what
welcome.
you're
Yeah,
doing.
thank you.
Thank
This
you.
is great.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Rick.
And yeah, for all you out there, if you're still not convinced, I like what Peggy said about, if you just don't know, err on the side of caution.
But you
think
need
it's
the
that
information
simple.
to do it.
Yes. So thank you all, and tune in next time.